Hello there. Hi guys. You're probably wondering why I'm like outside. Yeah, this today is going to be the most anticipated films of 2025 in terms of the Oscar season. And I know, I get it. It's too damn early for predicting Oscar movies or movies that are in contention for the Oscars. But listen, man, like I want to be like ahead of the curve, and I want to like really like get deep into like the movies that like I think are going to be like in contention and be like in the top 10 for Best Picture. So yeah, this is going to be like all that. I do have an extra kind of like honorable mention movie that might get in, might not get in, but it's one of those movies you have to kind of like see the reception of it. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this. Yeah, I hope you guys don't get fucking bored. And yeah, let's fucking get it. So, actually, going to be about the most anticipated films that I'm looking forward to during this year's Oscar season. And I say that because, like, this year is going to be really kind of like unpredictable in terms of which movies are going to be coming out this year. A lot of them are going to be like spread out. You don't really get to see or tell like what exactly what types of movies are going to come out. There's a lot of directors who would just come out of the woodwork and like make new movies, like Todd Field or Jonathan Glazer. So it's really really nice to like have this like new season be more spread out, I should say. But yeah, like I think this year is going to be like really interesting, and like the actors and writers strikes is basically over, so we don't have to deal with all that. So now we just focus on like the movies, and I think the slowdown of those strikes are going to be taking into effect over the summer, and then probably pretty much like during like the fall season. But you never know. I'm looking forward to the Cannes Film Festival and trying to see like how things are going to like be playing out during that festival, and then we'll finally get to see like what type of movies are going to be like in contention for the Oscars. But like I actually made like 11 listed films of 2025 that are probably going to be like part of the Best Picture race. This kind of thing is really kind of cool because like I get to be like in fourth or in forward with the idea of predicting movies being in contention for Best Picture, and I hope I'm actually right about a lot of these picks. But yeah, let's do this. So I actually want to redo the Megaopolis kind of analysis of this thing, because at number 11 I have Megaopolis. Yeah, like I think Francis Ford Coppola, like he has it in him generally, because the last movie he did, Twixt, I haven't seen it, but like I've heard kind of critical like mixed praise towards that movie, and I say that because I think Megaopolis is probably going to be like one of those movies that like splits people in terms of like, oh, like if you really like love like this type of genre, then you'll like definitely love it, or you'll just fucking hate it. I don't know if it's going to be like Babylon, where it's completely split and people are turned off by like the excess of the story at hand, or it'll probably be kind of just like Bardo, but I don't know if it'll be like Bardo. I think Megaopolis will be more kind of like Cloud Atlas, a little bit of The Godfather, because it's obviously dealing with the family in like kind of like the post 9/11 era of New York, but like also it's set in the way future where a lot of materials are life-saving and are saving the planet, and you have a billionaire who's basically going like, yo man, like we don't like this, like we're not gonna build any new development for your buildings, so fuck you. And Adam Driver is the architect, and he's trying to save the world from the corporations and capitalism. I actually read the script, well, the summary, basically. There's one of these YouTube channels that I like follow. I'll probably like link it below, but like they really went like in depth with the screenplay. The screenplay was written in the 90s, and it has a lot of references to 9/11. It actually like predicted 9/11. And it also does a lot of like weird kind of family stuff, which I think might be cut out in this new version. But yeah, I hope the movie goes well. Adam Driver, he's been doing a lot of movies with prestige directors, and he's been doing like a lot of movies that are kind of like out there, but like are also kind of in tune with his style of acting. And I actually hope he breaks out again, or I hope he actually breaks out with this movie. And I hope Shia LaBeouf does too, even though he's a fucking scum in person. But yeah, like I hope this actually works out. I actually hope Francis Ford Coppola is back on the Oscar stage, being just out there and about, because I think he definitely has one more in him. And I say that like very gracefully. But yeah, Megalopolis, number 11. So coming at number 10, I have The Apprentice, which is directed by the director of Holy Spider. And it's basically setting the stage for Donald Trump's kind of rise into... what's it called? Yeah, real estate. Yeah, that's what it is. Sorry, I had a little brain fart right there. But yeah, like this movie, it's going to be weird because like it's set in the 80s, it's dealing with Donald Trump, and he's the current Republican candidate for the president of the United States, and it's fucking crazy. And it's, I don't know, like I feel like this movie is either going to like make it or break it. In terms of characterizing Donald Trump as an evil person, because he is, and he's done a lot of fucked up shit in terms of kind of ruining the reality television world, and also just real estate in general, and just, yeah, politics, obviously. But I think this movie, again, will make it or break it with Donald Trump as the character and the person. But like, I also think that it'll have like a deeper like lens inside of who he is and what he does in that like landscape. But Sebastian Stan is actually playing Donald Trump, and I think he's a perfect fit because he's been doing a lot of like weird shit lately. He has another movie out called A Better Man, which he's playing an actor who is I think disfigured and is also kind of like guilty of a lot of stuff that he's done like in the acting world. Yeah, so I actually hope this movie is really good. I think that's why it's at number 10, because I think it'll probably be like Adam McKay's Vice, where it'll show pockets of Donald Trump's life, but it'll be very political and very like critical of the subject at hand. So yeah, that's why I have it at number 10. So coming at number 9, I have Queer, which is a new film by Luca Guadagnino. Yeah, this guy makes movies like every year or every 2 years, and like he can't be stopped in terms of just making movies. Like he's constantly just like fucking like steamrolling a lot of movies, television projects, just architects, just fucking everything. And he's one of my favorite directors, and like every time he comes out with a movie, like I'm super hyped. This one in general is actually more personal, mainly due to the fact that like the short story that Luca's adapting is more of a personal kind of account of William Burroughs' life in Mexico City. It's a little bit of that, and then it's also dealing with the post-Vietnam War, and you have like this general or this like soldier who's escaping from Vietnam to Mexico City to just hang out with a bunch of young men. And obviously from the title Queer, he's queer, and it goes super deep into what is queer, what exactly is the idea of being queer in the post Vietnam War. And I think this will be really interesting, and I think Daniel Craig like expanding his like horizons is pretty like fucking awesome, and I can't wait for this movie. I think it will probably like be in the top 10 Best Picture race, and I say that because this feels kind of more of like Luca's kind of like groundwork. He's been doing a lot of stuff. He's been doing like a lot of like romantic films and horror films, and he's kind of like doing this, like blending it together and then doing one side and doing the other side. And now he's kind of like going back to his Call Me By Your Name roots, basically, with this one, hopefully. But yeah, like I think this will probably be really, really, really damn good, and I actually hope that it plays out during this year's race. So coming at number 8, I have Gladiator 2. I think the reason why I have this at number 8 is because it's Ridley Scott. He's been making a lot of movies that are kind of all over the place. His last one wasn't that good, Napoleon. I thought it was very disappointing. And the last couple of films have been kind of like hit and miss. The Last Duel, obviously, fucking fantastic. House of Gucci, like I'm a fan of like camp and shit, and it kind of like toes the line between being serious and being like campy. I enjoyed it, but it's a mess, and I totally get it. So like now he's kind of like going back to his roots with Gladiator, and obviously you have to put it like in the top 10 like best picture race because it's Gladiator and it won best picture back then. So a lot of like the high stakes is there, but like also even if Ridley Scott makes kind of like a decent movie, I think it'll probably have like a good shot, and I think that's mainly because of like the actors who are in it. Paul Mescal, Denzel, I think Barry Keoghan's in it, or I think he dropped out, if I remember correctly. But if he's in it, then yeah, like you gotta like count him in. But yeah, like I think Gladiator 2, on principle, it sounds dope. I hope it works out, but like I'm afraid it's going to be disappointing. And yeah, like I get it. Ridley Scott has been making a bunch of kind of like top like 10 like best movies of like all time in his like filmography, but like I think he has one more in him. Like I generally think he has one more in him. Like he won't stop until like he dies. Like he won't like stop like filmmaking. That's like his mantra. So yeah, like I think this will probably work out in our favor and hopefully my favor. So yeah, that's why it's at number 8. So coming at number 7, I have Mad Max Furiosa, or Furiosa, the Mad Max saga. Again, just like Gladiator, back then, Mad Max Fury Road was nominated for Best Picture, and you can't count out any more Mad Max movies being like in contention for Best Picture. I do think watching the trailer, it doesn't look like kind of better than Mad Max Fury Road, but you know, you never know, because I kind of said the same thing with like the trailer for Mad Max Fury Road when it initially came out. I was just like, I don't know. I don't know if George Miller has it in him. And then the movie came out, and I was just like, damn, like this shit is fucking fire. Like it's one of the greatest like action movies that I've ever seen. I've seen it like multiple times, like in theaters, at home. Just it's one of those like really great like action movies. So I can see it. I can definitely see Furiosa like getting in for Best Picture. Especially since the Oscars kind of want to like go back to like their like populist roots. But you know, obviously the populist roots has to be pretty good. Like the movie has to be good. So if the movie's good, if it's like gaining momentum like well past its release date, then yeah, I can definitely see it. But yeah, I have nothing else to say about it. But yeah, I think it'll definitely like work out with this movie. I hope it's good, and yeah, I hope George Miller is nominated for Best Director. Yeah. So the next movie I have is Joker 2. If you don't know me personally, I wasn't really a big fan of the first movie. I thought it was pretty much a vapid portrayal of mental health, and also a vapid portrayal of Taxi Driver as a whole. It was just very hammy and just lame on principle. But I will say, Joaquin Phoenix's performance in that movie is fantastic and pretty much elevates the entire movie as a whole. So why am I actually like predicting this in contention for Best Picture? Well, obviously the last movie was nominated for Best Picture for matter of worse, or whatever you think about like the movie. It was there, it got nominated. Todd Phillips was also nominated for Best Director, which yeah, it could have been somebody else, but you know, it is what it is. But I think also the reason why I have this here is I have to like put like in confidence of this movie, because I think it'll do something a little bit different with the formula that Todd Phillips kind of like put in place in the first movie. And now with the second movie being more kind of like a musical, but like not really a musical. It's like dealing with the Joker and Harley Quinn, and they're in prison and they fall in love, and a lot of their like mental illness shit is like happening in the music like numbers, but like also outside there's a lot of like fucked up shit that's happening. And the trailer looks fucking awesome, just like the first trailer for the first movie. I hope it's good, and I actually hope that Todd Phillips has learned a lot from his direction from the last movie, and he actually makes something more palatable to cinephiles. And I say that because I want him to experiment, go fucking crazy. I want him to like piss a lot of people off, like even more than like the first movie, because I think he has like the balls to like do something more unique and more experimental than like the last movie. But then yet again, he did The Hangover 2 and Hangover 3, and those movies were fucking awful. So yeah, that's why I have Joker 2 on my list. So at number 5, I have Horizon Part 1, Part 2. Oh dude, this is fucking crazy. Like, Kevin Costner's literally like coming back from the dead, and he's making a Western with his own fucking money. And yeah, like, I don't have any like skin in the game in terms of westerns. I don't know like anything like super deep into like the western genre, but like Kevin Costner, he's always been like a part of like this cultural landscape of western movies, and every time he makes like a movie or just a western movie in general, like eyeballs are like locked in. He's made so many like fucking crazy like westerns out there. But yeah, like this one, I think you have to like put it in there because he's putting everything into it. He's putting his heart into it, and the trailer, it kind of looks a little bit cheap in terms of like the cinematography. But like, I think if you watch the movie when it comes out, it'll probably like be more kind of what's it called? Kind of like Top Gun Maverick in terms of like being very old school with its like Hollywood direction, and not being like super offensive and just like being like not wholesome. But if you've seen Top Gun Maverick, you know how it is. It's cheesy, but like the cheese is good. But yeah, like I think this movie will probably like work out. I think this is the reason why I have it at in my Best Picture lineup, is because Kevin Costner has been nominated multiple times in these categories and this category, and like it would be really dope to have him like back here on the Oscar stage. So yeah, that's why I have Horizon on my list. So the next movie I have is Nickel Boys. This is actually written by the Underground Railroad author. I don't know anything too much about this movie. All that I know is it's like set in a private school, and it's dealing with like racial tensions in that private school. And it has Andrea Taylor. She was in Origin, and she was also in King Richard. But like, yeah, like I don't know anything too much about this movie. I know Amazon has it, and they've been doing kind of like hit and miss in terms of awards campaign. But I think this probably be just like last year or the year before, Till, where that movie came and went. But it got like best actress nomination everywhere except the Oscars, obviously, which was fucking crazy. But I think this movie will probably be hitting hard with a lot of voters and just a lot of like people in general. I do hope this movie does kind of like not go like super into like the deep hole of like black trauma and black death, because like I'm kind of like tired of like these movies where they do a lot of like these kind of like traumatic events for black people. Till was like the last one where I was just like, yeah, I'm kind of done with these fucking movies, but it has a place and it has a home with a lot of people, and as long as people are learning more about like these incidents, that's all good for me and all good. But yeah, I don't know. It's going to be like a tough watch, and I actually hope it is a tough watch. So the next movie I have is Conclave. I don't know too much about this, but I know it's Edward Berger who did All Quiet on the Western Front. And I also know that Ralph Fiennes is playing a priest. That's basically it. I don't know what this movie's about, but like, everybody's going to put it on their list because, one, it's Edward Berger. He's coming hot off of All Quiet. And Ralph Fiennes is easily one of our greatest actors of our time. And I think he's overdue for an Oscar nomination. But yeah, like I don't know anything else. It's probably going to be like priests doing like fucked up shit. And yeah, like I'm all for it. I'm all in. Yeah, let's ball. So at number 2, I have Andrea Arnold's Bird. Yeah, this is gonna be kind of like a long one because like I love Andrea Bird. She's one of my like favorite directors. She's been doing a lot of like interesting projects here and there. Her last movie, Cow, was a documentary set in a perspective of a cow, and you're just following the cow like doing like normal shit, and it's playing into the idea of veganism and how we treat animals with respect and hatred also as well. So, also, even before that, she did American Honey, which won, I think, the Grand Prix for the Cannes Film Festival. And she's been like going in and out of the Cannes circuit for a couple years now. And this next feature she's doing, Bird, is kind of basically the same type of aesthetic deal in terms of following kind of like a lower poor class family as they're going through life. And this time around, it's Barry Keoghan and Franz Rogowski. Yeah, my pronunciation's shit, but like those two like actors, Franz and Barry Keoghan, like this is literally like the dream like I had. Mainly because I've really gotten into Franz's like filmography as an actor. Last year he was in Passages, which was fucking amazing, and Barry Keoghan has been like surprising me like every corner at every like performance. And here, from what I'm reading, it's going to be like more of him dealing with kind of like family drama as he's trying to raise a couple kids. And then you have Franz, who's, I don't know, maybe some significant figure as he's called Bird. But yeah, like Andrea Arnold, like I think this is her time. Like she should have been nominated for American Honey the last time around, and I was really sad that it didn't really get like a lot of awards attention. But like now, she actually has a great chance of getting the Palme d'Or. And if she does get the Palme d'Or, then you have to like count it in, because there's always been kind of like this crazy stat where if you have a film that's winning like the Palme d'Or, you have to like put it in contention. The only time it didn't really work out was Titan, but I think this year it'll work again. And I actually hope she does win the Palme d'Or, if I'm being like super like honest and low key, because like I think her films throughout the years have been like just magnificent and just really kind of wholesome and like, well, not wholesome, but like very like realistic. It's in my mind, and I think she has like the juice to like really make something like really fantastic and like a classic. But yeah, I think that's why like I have Bird in this lineup. I actually hope it does really get in, because again, Andrea Arnold deserves it. Can't wait for the reactions I can. Yeah. So at number one, I have Blitz, which is directed by Steve McQueen. And like, I really don't have to say anything about this, because again, this is coming from a director who's been making a bunch of fucking bangers throughout the years. And each time he comes out with a new movie, like all eyes are on it. His last movie was really interesting. He did a documentary about Amsterdam set in Nazi occupation, and it's also like kind of like blending in like real images of today's world, and then like having like a lot of like the overlapping dialogue of these buildings being destroyed by the Nazis. And it's like a 4.5 hour documentary, and it was one of my favorite movies of this year so far. So like he's kind of like going deeper into like the World War II shit with Blitz, and I don't know anything too much about it, but it's dealing with the romance with Saoirse Ronan, and I think also what's his name from Triangle of Sadness is in it, Harry Dickinson. Yeah, like they're both in it. And if the movie is just like 12 Years a Slave or Shame, where it's like very intense and like emotional, then we got a fucking banger in our hands. But like if it's like an action movie like Widows, then yeah, I don't know, it'll probably be missing out. But then again, this is a topic that has always been overplayed, World War II shit. But again, it's Steve McQueen. He's been making a lot of fucking bangers, and he never quits and he never stops. And I'm so fucking proud that he's like making movies, and he's actually like doing movies that are like very culturally relevant to like our today's times, and also just like experimenting and like being like out there in the open. And he's not afraid of like making movies that are like very uncomfortable. But yeah, like I can't wait. I think this is why I have it at number one, is because he's a previous winner. He won for 12 Years a Slave. He's has a great shot for Best Director, Steve McQueen, and I think he also has the best shot of winning Best Picture again. And I also think that Apple is going to fucking like bankroll on this like film, or it could either go south with the last year's campaign with the Killers of the Flower Moon. But then again, Apple's doing prestige shit while Netflix is kind of toning it down, downscaling, and making garbage movies. So I guess Apple's going to win again with their contention campaign. But yeah, that's why I have it at number one. So yeah, that's basically it. I hope you guys enjoy this. I'm just gonna edit this and try to like make sure I don't fuck up the sound, because if you've heard it earlier, there was like lawnmowers and shit going around in our neighborhood. But yeah, like this has been really fun, and I actually hope that I can like make more like outside, because like I think staying inside a lot, it kind of like cramps up my mind, and I want to like get out there and kind of like make more content. And I hope you guys aren't like fucking bored of this. But yeah, hope you guys enjoy. Check out my last, because I've been doing a lot of crazy shit on my channel, and I'll be doing more crazy shit. And yeah, also I'll be covering the Toronto Film Festival when that happens in September, so keep an eye out on that. But yeah, hope you guys have a good day, good afternoon, evening, whatever the fuck. Yeah, peace.